I want to start by
Saying hi.
hi, everybody. That's what I want to do. How good it is to see you all. We're back from California. We had an amazing trip, and we're going to share what we can with you.
California and Phoenix.
And Phoenix, right? Key part Phoenix, and I also want everyone to just give a little love on Alex, because she did something so amazing. She flew from New York, left her job, had to run from her job to the
JFK,
to JFK
which is no lightweight ride.
No, and then flew out to California. Got in at like 3 o'clock in the morning our time. Got up the next morning to attend the Super Saturday with Emily and Casey Tom, and then flew back the next morning to the East Coast to go to work. I mean, she is an amazing human, so determined. I am so proud of her for doing it. Go, Alex.
Thank you. It was totally worth it, though.
It was worth it, right?
Yeah.
So worth it. And we'll share some of that part too. And Alex, if you want, jump in at any time. Okay. I know you're driving, so maybe not. But if you get home, jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's quite a girl. I was really proud of her. And not only did that, she sat right up in the front. She was mixing with Emily and talking to really to everybody, to Chelsea and to everyone there. Casey, she shared, she got up and shared. So kudos to you, Alex. That's the type of initiative that will take you far. So we have a couple announcements that we want to start with for everyone, and then we'll jump into the mastermind. So Mark's gonna,
it's recording,
and a screen share.
Okay.
That's not the first line. Okay. Can you guys see this? Can you see our screen? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're jumping into announcements. There's Nicole. Okay, so we're going to just start by running through announcements with you guys real fast, because there's a lot going on. So guess what? Guess who's running Tribe Time this week? Everybody take a screenshot so you know when to jump on. Yeah, so we'll all be on that one. We had a chance to visit with Kathy in Arizona, and she looks great. Oh my God, she looks so good.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Such a big heart, that woman. Also, you guys, please, if
we'll talk about this,
we're going to talk about this, but take a screenshot, because you're going to definitely want to make sure not only you are there, but we're going to talk strategy around that. So look at this. I think this is pretty exciting news, everyone. Guess what? November 9th, we're going to open in Romania. So you have advanced news that we are opening in Romania. So what type of questions are you going to start asking everybody? Do you know anyone who lives or has family or is from Romania, right? So you want to start asking that question everywhere you go. Look at some of the details on this. In terms of the fitness industry, 360 to 380 million euros in 2023.
It's the fastest growing health and fitness market in all of Europe, which is extraordinary.
I mean, that's really big news. Fastest growing beauty and personal care industry, right? 1.72 billion. And look at this I love this. 18 million, almost 19 million. Almost 19 million people, 19 million opportunities. So get to know Romania. Start doing when you're doing your Instagram searches or your searches on LinkedIn or Facebook, you know, hashtag personal trainers, right? Life coaches, health coaches, estheticians, Romania, because obviously they're really plugged into our business, which is great. So I'm pretty excited about this. So you get more information on it, but start your process now because you have inside intel. Okay. Also, UIA Philly. I want to see the whole team here. So I know that a lot of you are coming, which is going to be really great. We'll start to plan this coming week activities for all of us together, but it's going to be an amazing UIA. I mean, the trainers that are going to be there are off the charts, and there's going to be really good activity there. So let's all make sure we get there so we can share in the experience together. We have a Grow Week coming. Okay, so it's going to be Fall into Action Grow Week. It's going to come right off the tail of the UIA. Of course it is. So you want to make sure that you have this. The great trainers. Laura Stevens was at the Mastermind with us, and she is on fire. So was Bonnie Fertel. So it's going to be great for everyone to be there, to attend the Grow Week and put this into your calendars so we can all do this together. Okay, so who got their Celoton masks? These are so great, you guys. It makes for such a fabulous Christmas present to be giving, to put in people's stockings, right? And also just to give as a full variety pack. I mean, really, I love masks, and they have a sculpting treatment mask, a firming one. I know that, Scott, you'd be really interested in that firming treatment mask, the hydrating mask. I'm making Mark do it, and a brightening treatment mask. So this is a wonderful gift to be giving to your hairdresser, to be giving to, teachers, family members.
Lynn was actually thinking about making us do the masks for tonight's team call.
But I decided it might be too long to have it on. I don't know. So it's very funny. And they're also going to be, they're going to have the holiday exclusive. They're going to have a little contest going for everybody to be able to vote for their favorite mask, and there will be prizes. So keep that in mind. Also, who got the peppermint shake yet? Did anybody try it yet? We got to try it at the Mastermind. It was so good.
It's delicious.
It's like having, I don't know, Christmas in a glass. It's quite delicious. And I want to tell you, we had banner days in Isagenix when they released this. So you want to tell people, again, a great and very festive. Imagine getting that and then give the Celoton mask. What a great Christmas gift to give people. Right. And so you make sure everyone knows about it, because it's a very festive thing to have. And people were going crazy over it at the Mastermind. We were all trying it for the first time, and it tastes really good. So vision call tomorrow is with Lisa. So we'll talk about this tonight and about the 12:30 Zooms that she does every Monday, but she's gonna tie into a lot of what she is feeling strongly that activities we all need to be doing to build our future, particularly right now. So you want to make sure you're tuning into the Zoom. It's going to be great. I love Lisa. We also did everybody get the new board? Okay, and everybody has the board loaded, and have you looked through it? You can see what they've done in this board is they're pulling everything together so that you don't have so many different boards. So, after you have a chance to look at it, you can feel free to release some of those other boards if you don't want them. So you have everything nice and tightly packaged in one place. And updated. We got to spend some time with Zach and Eden at the Mastermind. We had so much fun together.
Oh,
they're such nice people.
So lovely.
Yeah, and multiple hugs and multiple hugs sent to all of you. And so Zach and Eden said they're going to have an opportunity video overview as well, and that'll be out in about 2 weeks. So as soon as we find it, we'll share it with all of you. But this is really such a hot topic, and my gosh, it was so amazing at the Mastermind just to hear Dr. Plant go on and on and on about the quality of the science behind our products, which we'll get to. So a few other things. We have some team news. So we have a birth, and Nicole is here with us tonight, which is so amazing. And we're so excited to celebrate your little baby girl, Nicole. And so everyone, let's just give a great big round of applause. She did it. Woohoo, Nicole. I'm not sure if you're putting the baby to bed or you can share with us, but we're just so pleased for you, Nicole. And then Courtney had her baby this week, little Cooper. And then it was not the best picture that I caught of Emma Kate, but those of you who've been around a while, our dear Emma Kate, she tied the knot and got married this past weekend. So such cool things for everyone on our team. Does anybody else have any other announcements you'd like to share, team announcements? I'm going to take your silence as a no.
Yes, no.
Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to do two things. Hang on, I'm sitting in an airport right now, but Patty PIB, double PIB this weekend.
Yeah.
And we have her new teammate on the call tonight, Kim. So I wanted to welcome Kim to the call.
Hi, Kim. We're so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Welcome to
our call. We can't see everybody on the call now because we're screen sharing.
But let me see if I can. Can I see you so we can wave to you?
Hey, me?
Yeah. I don't see you, but we're all really happy to have you here, and welcome to our team. It's a really special team. and we all work very closely together and help each other on our way. So
In
welcome.
addition to having lots of fun.
Yes. All right, so you guys, we're going to talk to you as much as we can about the mastermind. We'll be jumping around a little bit, but let me first say, we can stop screen sharing now at this point. I just want to show you how kind they are. So they gave us food, they took care of our meals, and also look at this amazing blanket that we got. We each got one, and can you guys see this? It looks like a skin, and it is so warm.
It feels like faux fur. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so wonderful, and we love it. And so
it's gorgeous.
And they gave us, so that we could take amazing notes, our own notebook with our names embossed on it. Can you see that? I mean, how cool is that, just to be part of the mastermind and how they take such good care of us, which is so typical of this company. And so
Lynn loves this blanket so much, it's going to be Lynn 2 Mark 0 in about 2 days. So
I'm actually talking to corporate this week, and I'm going to ask them if they have any left over, if I can buy them, because I love them so much. So you know, I have to tell you, this mastermind was incredible, and everybody was so open at this mastermind, and it's so filled with, it just reinforced what we all know, that we're one team. But to be around these super talented leaders, each and every one of them has taken the climb through courage, commitment, consistency to reach the top 100 in our company and to be invited to such an incredible event. You know, it's so interesting to look around the room at the top 100 there. We all come from different walks of life, all different ages, all different backgrounds, all different reasons brought them to Isagenix. And it's pretty cool because we kicked it all off with Mac asking us a question. And he had us all talk about, you know, what was life like? Oh, before I do that, it was really cool because one of the youngest people that were there was Chelsea Millie.
Lauren.
Yeah, Chelsea Lauren, and she increased her cycles by up to 100 in the last 3 months. So think back 3 months into your life, that from here to back to 3 months back. In that period of time, she grew her cycles to 100. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. So if you have any limiting beliefs, to just watch someone, she's young, she's working in an area where people don't even know about network marketing, but she was unrelenting in her belief. And she was, the whole time at the mastermind, she contributed so much. She has total fire in her veins. I mean, she's like her mother times 10, and talking just about how she's building. And it's just an unstoppable attitude that this is exactly the right thing to be delivering to people at this time we find ourselves in as a world. And so she was amazing. And then we had a man named Tom.
Let me just finish on Chelsea real quick. The amazing thing about Chelsea, because she was also at the LA Super Saturday with Emily. And she decided some months ago, and I think some of you who may have seen her speak at Herb and Patty's meeting before celebration began officially, she just made the decision that she was not going to wait for anybody else. She was not going to depend upon anybody else. She made a decision that she was going to be the momentum. She was going to create it. She was going to drive it. She's going to perpetuate it, and she's going to speak into it from now until always, I think. And she's 29 years old. She's such an extraordinary young woman. I mean, really amazing. So we'll be talking about her some more.
But it's her level of belief and her saying, if it's going to happen, and we've all heard this before, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. But to watch the passion and conviction, and it's contagious. And that's what's happening as she's driving business. Why she is building so quickly right now is her unshakable belief in the opportunity that's before all of us, and learning to master that, to be comfortable with the language of that and the posture of that. That's how we create. People are looking right now, and they're looking for that level of belief. And then there was a man, go ahead, tell him about Tom.
Oh man. So Tom sat in front of us by himself in the very front, and he told us the most extraordinary story. He's 72, and he's been in the network marketing profession for 50 plus years, which is, so he started when he was whatever, in his early 20s. And you can just imagine what it was like then. And a year ago, less than a year ago, he left $1 million a year income with another company. Because he said, when I saw Isagenix compensation plan, I didn't have any choice. I had to leave.
He said in all of his study of compensation plans throughout the industry in 50 years, he has never, ever seen a plan like ours. So we're saying that to you, because what a cool guy that he had the courage at making $1 million a year.
And he was really emotional. It was very lovely.
To leap into this profession, and obviously he's doing well enough to be invited to the top 100, but what courage and conviction he had. And just to let you know that someone with that level and depth of experience can make a decision that measured to come to our company because of the quality of our compensation plan. So we, as I started to say, we started the mastermind with 2 assignments, which was what was life like before Isagenix, and
for each of us individually, what was life like?
Yeah, and then how has it changed with our Isagenix success? Now, I know we've been asked those questions before. I know when we're at UIA, we're asked those questions. It's interesting when you're in a room of people that are so used to playing at 150%. Like, everyone took this assignment so damn seriously, and everybody took time writing. And people didn't tell the stories. They thought of different components to their own story, including us. And to hear the power of their stories and how much their life has changed. There was one guy that I was interacting with, and he was an actor beforehand. And he said, you know, it was really amazing because as an actor, as any actor, you guys take note, anyone in that profession, all across the board, the producers, everyone, you never know where your next job is coming from. And so when they lay out the food in the trailer, when they're doing a filming on a set, most actors are filling their backpacks with the food. They're taking it out and shoving as much as they can, including him, into backpacks, because he said you live a life of feast and famine, and you never really know when your next job's going to come. And so there's this amazing, it creates this huge feeling of lack. How many of us, and I'm not asking you, you don't have to raise your hand, but how many of us suffer from lack or from limiting beliefs? And he said, to fight through those limiting beliefs, where I had surrounded myself with this feeling of lack, and to fight through them to get to the place and make a climb. And he said, and his life after, he said, I can't even imagine. I can't even begin to describe it. I lived in this tiny little ramshackle apartment beforehand, and the home that we have now is so beautiful, and I never worry. I'm so pleased that my children they were too young to know me back then, but my children have been brought up with a feeling that anything is possible. And that's all because of this opportunity. It's all because of this company. It's all because of the growth that I discovered in myself and being around other Isagenix people that got him to that point. And just, it was such a touching story, and everyone's story was touching. Like, it's amazing when they ask for volunteers, like every hand in the room goes up. It's so interesting to be exposed to that. But you know, it's really an interesting thing because everyone, including us, we're so grateful. We're so grateful for this company, and also for the climb, because it's what you become it's why it's so worth it. You know, even the days when it's wall kicking and you're sick of the nose and you're frustrated by the process and you're wondering where your cycles are going to come from, or you're wondering how you're going to get from where you are right now to there. It's so worth it.
And yeah, the amazing thing is, in separate conversations with other leaders, somewhere in their story with Isagenix, they wanted to quit.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. And they will all say, it just wasn't an option. It just wasn't an option. And they woke up the next morning and got right back on the horse. And to hear that same story every time.
Echoed over and over and over again
So
throughout the
powerful.
room.
So powerful.
Yeah. And, you know, Mark wanted to bring this up because at the Super Saturday, so we had this amazing week. Really, actually, from the moment we got on the plane to go out to California and attending and having Alex come, I'm so proud of her for taking that journey to get out there and having that experience with Alex, and then listening to what Emily and Casey had to say, and Chelsea and all these people that came out to train. But Emily talked about the choice factor, which Mark's, I think you touched on a little bit last week, but you want to talk about it?
Again, so many things happened in this week. It almost felt a month long. Emily started off by saying people, they don't know that they have a choice. And what's interesting is having engaged with a lot of different people in a very short period of time, it's really clear that people don't know that they have a choice. And that was us.
We didn't know. We didn't know that we had a choice. You know, we didn't know when we were exhausting ourselves, unrelenting stress, day and night.
Throwing ourselves at the forge every day.
Every day. We didn't know that there was another way. We didn't know we could get out. When the recession hit in 2008, 2009, and so many people around us were losing their jobs, they didn't know. And we didn't know enough to be able to help them. It's going to sound really strange, but we were talking about this the other day, and how like we're so happy to know what we know going into this recession and this time, because we didn't know enough then to be able to help people, but we know enough now to be able to talk to people about the fact that they have a choice. And so what was really interesting at this mastermind is almost every single person at this mastermind led with business to build their legacy life. Like, write that down, guys. Seriously, almost every single person. I actually think everyone got there.
Everyone.
Some started with product, but every person ended up leading with business to build their legacy life. It's such an important thing to know. And there was a place in time where we were all encouraged to lead with business, with product. And there were a lot of reasons why Isagenix took us that way. There was a lot of discomfort in our industry, but really in the end, this is a business that we're building, and to lead with the business is how you're going to get there. You know, especially during rough economic times, we should all be leading with business. People are looking right now for answers. And, you know, even the news right now is that the recession it's going to hit like probably Q2 next year, but it's going to be a softer recession. It's going to be more like the 1990 recession, but it still is such a wake-up call for so many people that they need options in their lives. And coming out socioeconomically of the time we've just been through, people are experiencing life very differently. And so for us to have a way to arm them with a solution is such an important thing. So every Monday, Lisa and leaders in our company, including Zach, Herbie Cepeda, Kathy Savage, CG Siddons, they're all coming together to help you guys, to help the whole field learn how to lead with business. And she said her whole purpose of these Zooms that she's doing is to teach you how to build a successful network marketing business. And she said, leading with business, she can, if you follow her direction, she can get you to 6 figures in the next, what'd you say, 6 months to a year, this time next year. And so what I really want to encourage you is to jump on there and listen to her. This is call number 4. So if any of you have not watched the preceding calls, 3 calls, I have them. I put them, I think, in our group chat. But if you haven't listened to them, I would really recommend that you do, and then get on her calls. Where she's going from here is all about how to build a successful network marketing business. And she built 2 teams. She jumped in and built 2 teams, and she did it right behind Lynn Hagedorn. So a little more than 13 months, she built to becoming a millionaire. And so she knows the climb, she knows the work, and I would really recommend that you get on those calls. She said today, you can post on Instagram and Facebook, but unless you ask them, unless you tell them about Isagenix and the opportunity, it isn't going to happen. They won't come to you. You have to ask them. So such an important thing. Yes, I'll send, I'm going to post it in our group chat, Nicole. So I'll make sure that you have it. Okay.
The text.
In the group text, sorry. Yeah, I'll put it in. And so, so again, everybody in the mastermind leads with that. And so what we want to, Lisa said, also, at the at the Super Saturday, they had a guest speaker named Daniel G. Does anybody know him? Daniel G.
Oh, awesome.
You know him, Scott?
That's awesome. Nicole knows him too. You go, guys.
Well, he flew
We
in.
had no idea who he was.
Man, he's quite a dynamic human, and he flew in from Dubai to train with us, and spent a long time training there. Just was available for questions, Q&As afterwards, and he said,
I mean, he's like drinking from a fire hose.
yeah.
And 28 years old, the guy just has the most insane amount of energy and so much wisdom. And one of the things that he shared with us, among many, because he spoke for over an hour, is that people want to hear stories. They don't want to hear facts. They want to hear stories of what just happened, of what's fresh in your mind, what's on your mind. Like what happened during that day or maybe the day before. And so we took that away as, well, that makes sense. Because when you have an engagement with somebody, when something exciting or interesting happens, it's right there fresh in your mind. And as long as you can manage to not go on and on, those stories can be really powerful.
And you know what? You have to be out there collecting stories to be able to share them. So the other part of that is you have to be out talking to people. You have to have those experiences so that you can bring them back and share them. So we're going to share a couple with you from our trip. So you know how Lisa said that people will not ask you. And one of our dinners while we're out there was with someone I met years ago at a New York event. Her name is Serena. And we were sitting at dinner together, and I was asking her about her work. And she said, you know, I've been looking.
You made arrangements to get together with her and her significant other.
Yes, I made arrangements, and I made arrangements while I was going out there to have dinner with her and her significant other and Mark. And we were sitting, and she said, I was asking her about her work, and she said, you know, I'm thinking about creating another source of income. And she said, I notice on your Facebook page, you talk about that and how important it is. I said, yes, I did. She immediately changed the subject. So just remember this, people will not ask you. And so we had a lovely night. Had a lot of interesting information that I discovered, we both did during that night and through many conversations. The next morning I texted her and I said, you know, you talked about multiple streams of income. You know, I've been doing it for over 14 years and I'd love to hear what you're thinking about. And then maybe you could benefit from my 14 years of experience in building another stream of income. Like within seconds, she said, oh my gosh, I would love that. And we set an appointment and we're going to have a Zoom just to talk about specifically business and the opportunity. But what's interesting about it is she brought it up. She'd been watching my Facebook page. She changed the subject and never brought it up again. So it's a really important lesson for all of us. It's not that she wasn't interested. It's just that they don't know what to do. We didn't know there was an answer. We didn't know. So you remember that.
As a consequence, what happens, I think that people, they don't even know how to ask the question. Like, how does it, like, what do you guys do? How does it work?
So another story, we were enjoying a concert at our hotel, our last night there, and the music was so good. And I'm enjoying the music. It's been an amazing week. And this woman across the way kept making eye contact with me. Like we both were loving the music and I would smile at her and she'd smile back at me. And then this one song would come on and we'd clap together, whatever. And she comes all the way across the room and she comes over and she stands right in front of me. And she said, I felt your energy across the room. I felt like I had to connect with you. And I said, oh, thank you. I was feeling it too. It was great. It was great smiling and enjoying the concert with you. And she said, I said, how are you? And she said, I'm out here for an escrow conference that starts tomorrow. But she said, I got laid off this week. And she said, I'm devastated. She said, 20 years in my profession. And I said, oh my God, Denise, did you see it coming? She said, I did not see it coming. I am not prepared for this. I didn't know this was going to happen to me. And I said, look, I want to tell you something. Nothing happens by accident. We were meant to meet for a reason. And I want to tell you, everything's going to be okay. And so we're talking this week. Again, it's just making those connections. And then Mark, you tell your story about the lady you reconnected with this week.
Yeah, so one of our other meetings, because guys, the whole idea is to travel pre-tax, right?
So we make sure we have a lot of meetings when we travel.
It's just an unbelievable
We
amount
can
of
talk
fun.
about that too.
Anyway, probably a year and a half ago, I was trying to help Taylor with his apartment, off-campus apartment, and I met one of the senior admins working for the property management company. And they were mostly not pleasant conversations, though we managed to keep, by intention, we managed to work through it. So I stayed in touch with her. And a year, probably 6 months ago, she decided to try the collagen. Had an amazing experience. And then life happened.
And she went into the witness protection program.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely fascinating, right? So didn't hear back. Then when I do hear back, find out she's going to Europe for 6 weeks. Okay, so patience is required, right? Didn't really hear back, but I kept bumping the conversation along in text. And I said, Lynn and I are coming out. Would you, let's get together for a cup of coffee. She said, oh my God, I would love to. So practically before we sat down, she brought a dog that she was dog sitting because she needs to make money. She's doing 3 different things to cover her overhead. She brings a dog that she's dog sitting, and before she even sits down, like, I really think that I want to do this seriously.
She said, I'm ready now, and I want to do this seriously.
And the two of us looked at each other, do what seriously, Lily? This business, maybe?
But so a year of following up, a year of staying in the game, a year of having patience. People come to it when it's their season. And then one.
So we use a rental car service in LA. They're in other cities. You guys, you really have to check it out. They're amazing. They're called Kite, K-Y-T-E. Wherever you are in their service area, they deliver your car to you. Everything is done ahead of time online. You tell them when you want the car, where you want the car, and they deliver it. It's insane, right? So this guy shows up Saturday morning. We're getting ready to go to the Super Saturday with Emily. And he calls to let me know he's there. And right away in his voice, there's something. So I meet him, and he's an incredible handshake. He looks me directly in the eyes, and we had the most remarkable conversation. Fast forward, I asked him, I said, do you keep your eyes open for opportunity? Yes, I do. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I love your company, Kite. He said, yeah, they just debt consolidated, and Goldman did a Series B round of 500 million.
So they went from friends and family funding to 500 million because they're doing stuff right. He's associated with this company and has how many businesses as well?
He has 4 businesses of his own.
And he's how old?
And he's, near as I can tell, 28 or 29. So to keep things short, he's working, I'm on the run. I said, Will, let's get together. This is my schedule. I'm not sure if we can do it. If we can't, we'll do a Zoom the following week. He said, oh no, we're getting together. Just like that. And so he makes the arrangement. He picks the place in the LA area, in Santa Monica, an incredible place, super glamorous. I've never even heard of it. And that's where we have breakfast. And he's wide open, and he's smart. He's already a successful entrepreneur. And so he could totally lay this in. Then on the plane out.
Well, we just had conversations after, but what we did is we were holding court on the way out, and we made so many connections with so many interesting people. Guy on one side, he wants to get started with products. The girl on the other side wants another stream of income. We sat in the middle, both of us, so we could have lots of conversations going. People are looking.
And they don't know, and they don't know they have a choice.
Right. So back to the mastermind. You guys, this is such an important time for us in Isagenix. It's such an important time for us to move into action. We have everything lined up for us. If you could have been in the room, I would have paid money to have each of you be able to hear Dr. Plant. OMG.
Yeah, he was in
Like,
rare form.
OMG. That's all I can tell you. He was in absolute rare form, debunking any of the crazy, stupid rumors that are out there about, are our shakes really New Zealand way? Like 100%, you know, just
He just took that whole conversation off the table by lumping them into the group known as bottom feeders.
Yes.
They swim along the bottom, something moves, and they're on it, right? She said, so let's not even talk about them anymore. They don't exist.
But it was such an amazing collaboration at this mastermind. We talked about charting the future and all that is ahead for all of us in Isagenix, like where it's going, how we're going to navigate through and have navigated through some really difficult times because of COVID, the recession, supply chain. I like your kitty, guys. I just saw it crawl across behind you. But everything that has been challenging and how we're moving forward as a company. And I have to tell you, it was for us such an awesome experience. It was truly a spirit of cooperation and collaboration like I've never seen before. You know, as we are all in the field, we think of ourselves and we have mastered being a one team culture. And to sit with all these people, none of us are financially linked, and everyone is helping each other, and we're all sharing our top tips and secrets and ideas together. And
the amazing thing about this, you guys, is that we really, the field, we are beyond essential to them. And it wasn't a mastermind, so many I've been to, where even though it's supposed to be a mastermind, you get in and basically it's, here are our challenges. Here's what we're thinking of framing up.
Here's the things, new initiatives, things like that.
So in large measure, it's already gelled, right? Instead, this was, okay, we're going to roll up our sleeves and collaboratively, as Lynn just said, we are going to chart the future.
And what made it so exciting was not only the one team culture of us in the field. And by the way, we are considered across the board, the field is considered by far the biggest asset that Isagenix has. And they treasure us. They treasure us. They treasure the commitment. They're so grateful for who we are and that we get up every day and we think Isagenix and we live Isagenix and we build to share with others. And we recognize this time that we're in. This is a time, if you look historically in Isagenix, and look at us as an example, we got into it during the last recession. And historically in Isagenix, the big jumps happen during a recession. So each of us need to bear that in mind. We should be really focused on this right now. This is where big leaders come into our business. But the point I'd like to make with all of you is not only is it the field one team culture, but what I think makes us so exceptionally rare as a company is the collaboration that happened between us and corporate. Like, I honestly feel I've never seen anything like it. In all the work I've done on Wall Street and with other corporations, and there have been many, I have never seen this level of cooperation and transparency and really working collaboratively. And I'm speaking to Sharon on Wednesday, and I said, I'm going to say to her, I think this could be a case study. I think it could be like a Harvard Business Review case study, the excellence of communication and collaboration. Like we can take what we've done as a field culture and drop it right into it being a corporate field, one team culture. And that, it just makes me so proud. And it is so rare.
I mean, it's amazing because there were some really challenging discussions in that day and a half. I mean, it was not easy. And those guys, like, so we were there at 8, we were done at 7:30 that night. So almost 12 hours, really no break. We just went at it. And then the corporate team, the senior corporate team, took everything that we had
written and said and
engaged in the discussion and dialogue and synthesized it. And then when we got there the next morning at 8, okay, this is the
culmination of all we talked. So they worked through the night. So just get a sense of what your partners are like. So we can't tell you a lot of what was discussed. We just can't. I mean, we want to honor.
Yeah, we would truly be killed.
No, we would be killed, but also we wouldn't want to do that. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys. You must come to NYKO. Look, there's Nicole on camera with her baby.
Baby ready for some on camera.
First time, yay. Oh,
little lamb chop.
look. Oh, Nicole, so sweet. You look so cute as a mama, too.
Hey, she's sleeping.
Oh,
Well, it was, I think. We were feeding, so that's why I was off camera.
oh, so sweet, Nicole. Thanks for sharing.
Great to see you, darling.
So you guys, this is what I would say. You have to come to NYKO. Like, this has to be a non-negotiable for each and every one of you, because so much that is coming. There is so much coming, and it's really good stuff. And it's really going to move Isagenix into this time and be very, very, very current in many ways. And you have to be there. So you have to be there to learn about it. You have to be there to participate in it, to just understand it and understand where we're going. It's all really good stuff, but you have to be there. And so
everybody needs to be fed, you guys.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to their vision, their dreams fed. Lynn and I certainly were at that mastermind. I mean, it was amazing.
So this is a time to build intentionally. This is a time to think, look into your downline, revisit conversations with people that you've had in the past. Think about this, the woman Denise that I told you about. If I had run into her a month ago, 3 weeks ago, a week ago, she would be in a job that she'd been in for 20 years and having this false sense of security. Things are changing for people. We didn't know there was another way. We didn't ask. We wouldn't have asked, right? And so
we didn't know to ask.
We didn't know to ask. And so we have to be comfortable with telling this amazing story of this amazing company. So reach out to your downline, find out if there are 1, a 2, or a 3. Everyone's doing this right now. Find out if there are 1, a 2, or a 3. Reach out to customers, ask them what's going on in their lives right now. Reach out to your prospects, have conversations. Things change, right? Ask good questions, right? So when we were having fun holding court on the plane, we just kept asking questions. When I asked Serena, how's work going? What's happening for you? That opened the door for her to be able to tell me and then get to multiple. She's been following me, right? But it was asking questions. So it's asking questions.
The guy that I sat next to on the way out, it took me about 24 hours to be able to turn my head the other direction. For 5.5 hours, we did nothing but talk. And I know his whole life.
Fascinating one too.
It's a really interesting one. And
that you're not going to talk about.
But not once. No, I'm not going to talk about it. But not once did he ask me what I did. That's okay. That's okay.
People don't know to ask the question. So you guys first get to NYKO.
It's about developing relationships.
Talk about the business. So let me ask you guys a question, because we're going to be planning what we're training with you going forward. Does anything hold you back? And I really would love your feedback. Does anything hold you back in being able to talk about the business? Can you throw some things out to us? We're going to wait. We'd love to hear, because we know a lot of you aren't comfortable in talking about the business.
Belief in self. Thanks, Alex.
Alex, thank you for sharing. She says, believe in herself. So is that belief that when you say belief in yourself, that you can talk about it effectively, or is it belief in yourself that your level of success? What can you just elaborate a little, Alex?
She may not be able to.
Okay, you might not be able to. If you can, just do it when you can. I'll watch for you in chat. Anybody else have anything else? Go ahead, Wanda.
I believe that what probably stops me is it's easy to speak about the products. It's easy, and I know that's not what we're supposed to. It's just so easy to speak about the products. And then I think one of the biggest challenges for me is if I speak about the business, I really believe that it's my responsibility to carry them with me. And I guess it's just, one more burden on top of me. I don't mean to say it as a burden, but I take responsibility for them and I don't want to fail them. And my time constraint is such that, so that's where I am right now.
Okay, that's really, really helpful to hear that, Wanda. And, we'll address that. That's really helpful to hear what is holding you back so that we can really be able to kind of explode that in terms of solutions.
Yeah, we'll break it down.
Julie has her hand raised and I see Lisa does too. Thank you guys. The response is really helpful to hear. So I'm going to go to Lisa and I'm going to go to Julie and then come to you, Lisa. So
Dorothy has her hand up.
and then Dorothy too. Good. Thank you guys. We appreciate this.
So I'm going to make mine short and sweet so I can mute again because I'm sure it's noisy, but I think it's about knowing the comp plan. I think a lot of us don't know the comp plan enough with clarity and power to be able to speak about it. I go back to Lynn Hagedorn. When you know it and you're clear, you can speak more easily about it.
Okay.
And until, all of us dive in and learn more and practice, I just think that would be helpful for all of us to really get, take some time and do some one-on-ones with each other.
That's good. Thank you, Julie. That's really helpful to hear. And I think that is for a lot of people. And Lisa, how about you? Thank you, Julie.
I think what Julie said, absolutely. I've been spending a lot of time learning the product. So learning the comp plan is tricky and it's tricky to explain. But I'm still running into the old school, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. And I've got a lot of people who have done Amway and they've done Melaleuca and they've done Herbalife and they've done all the others and they're just like, oh, no, I'm not interested. And so to turn it back around and start that conversation again, they're like, nope. And that's kind of the one thing that I'm coming across.
Okay, so overcoming objection. And again, I think what I'm hearing from all of you, ease of building with someone and ease of explaining the opportunity with someone. So
And
okay.
I have something to say about that.
Okay, I'm going to get all the questions first, Julie, so just hold on because you might want to say something about some of the other ones too. So let's come back to that. And Dorothy, how about you?
Okay, so today I went to get me a phone at the AT&T store and I ran into a young lady that was just very professional, just very on top of it. And I told her, I said, you seem like such a professional person and I really like your demeanor. I said, how long have you been doing this? And she said, she said she'd been doing it 2 or 3 years or whatever. I said, well, you do very well at it. I said, I'm looking, I said, hey, are you doing anything else? Would you, have you thought about doing anything on the side? And she said, well, she goes, I feel like I'm too busy. Like at the end of the day, I just want to stop talking to people. I don't want to talk to people anymore at the end of the day, because she talks to people all day long. I said, well, would you ever give it a thought? Would you ever consider it? Is this something that you would be open to looking at? And she goes, yeah, I'd be open to looking at it. So I have her information. I got her exchange information and all that. So to me, it's not so hard to get people to say they're open. And it's not even so hard to share information. It's transitioning from the sharing of the information to the next step where you're like, I don't even know how to transition somebody into a 3-way call. It just feels awkward to me. I don't feel like, hey, you want to get on 3? I don't feel like I know how to ask that question and it not seem weird,
Yeah.
So it just seems like, oh, you get them on a 3-way call, but it's like, to me, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Okay, where's your phone? Hey, you want to get on a 3-way call? And it's like, all of a sudden it's kind of like, well, that's when you get ghosted and all this other stuff, And I have a lot of people who I've reached out to, they have expressed interest, but it's, for me, I'm just like having it's like almost maybe it's a limiting belief on my part. And I've read all the books and I know all the sayings and all that stuff, but it's just me, that transition just seemed very awkward to me to try to get them over to the 3-way call and then to get somebody on the 3-way call when they're ready. And to me, to get the right person to 3-way connect with them, because even I might be ready, They might be ready, but maybe the three-way caller's not ready, or the three-way caller might be ready. I'm ready. Maybe the other person's not ready. It's like getting 3 people all ready at the same time to get on a call and be consistent, or be, where it's not so awkward.
Okay.
So that's my biggest thing, I think.
Okay, well, we can definitely help you with that. No
Okay.
problem. Like Alex said from Daniel G, he said part of it is reminding people, why they would want one. So if someone says to you, like Serena said to me, she wants to make an additional stream of income. It's just saying, well, if you said to me you'd like to make an additional stream of income, would it be okay if I showed you how? Right, but we're not going to answer all of these individually. We're going to take this into training. So look, who else has?
So if I could just jump in there real
Yeah.
quick. So Dorothy, something like this, right? You're asking questions, you're listening to the person, and this is something Daniel G said. It makes so much sense. He said so much sense because you're always closing, in essence. What I've heard you say is this, this, and this. If nothing changes 3 years from now, or a year from now, how are you going to feel that everything is exactly the same in your life? Not as judgment, but you've heard the stress. You've heard them say, presumably, that they don't like it, or they're not making enough money, or whatever the reasons are. What I've heard you say is ABC. How are you going to feel if nothing changes?
And you know what it is? It may sound awkward in the beginning, but it's asking enough questions and discovery so that you know what you're bringing to people in terms of a solution, but you're speaking into their listening and what they're looking for. And then it's posture and belief. But we're just taking the list together right now so
Yeah, we'll come back on it.
we will, because if not, we don't want to keep you here all night. So we're just going to quickly.
I think we should be done by 10. Right?
So does anyone else? I really, those of you, I'm going to come to you, Lisa, but you guys, the ones who haven't raised your hand, this is like, we're a team here, no judgment zone, but if you're not currently leading with business, there is something holding you back. And it's great if we could know, because let me just give you an example and then I'll jump to you, Lisa. But I want you all to think about it. Really ask yourself that question. Just be willing to be vulnerable. After I got off Lisa's call today, I said, Lisa, I reached out to her and I said, it occurs to me that people understand the importance of leading with the business, but they don't know what to say when they're introducing the business to people. Do you think you could tell people and train on what you say? And so she said, yes, I totally 100%, that's helpful to know, and I would do it. So when I'm asking you this question, it's going to be, we're going to be training. We're going to get into it, back to the basics. But also I'm bringing it to Lisa, I'm bringing it to corporate. So it helps for us to know if you're not, why you're not, especially if our products are amazing, our company is amazing, our comp plan is one of a kind. And we know that everyone is looking for, mostly people are looking for an answer. Even if you have to ask a couple questions and chunk down with them to get to the place where you know how to raise the issue with them or offer a solution to them. And so what is holding you back? Like in your heart, what is it? Are you afraid of being judged? Are you afraid of being a network marketer? Are you afraid they're going to ask you?
Rejected?
Yeah, of rejection. Are you afraid you're being asked a question that you don't know the answer to? Like, what is it that's holding you back? Because if we know, we can help. If we don't know, we can't. Right? And that this time, like, everyone who has built, who has the legacy life that you're all looking for, they built with business. So that's the question. And if you don't know yet, if you're like, I'm not sure what's holding me back, be committed to yourself and be committed to your future enough to let us know. Like, reach out, send me a voice text, send Mark a text, let us know so we can move this forward and move you past the things that might be holding you back, because everyone in that room, we were all millionaires in that room, and everyone in that room, we all had to face the dragons. Chelsea stood up and said, I've wanted to quit so many times. Just months ago, I wanted to quit. We all get there. We have wall kicking moments, but it's acquiring and moving through that skill set that gets you to that place where you can make it happen. And so duplication is key. And so even for you, Wanda, it's duplication. It's having a clear system that doesn't tax you. It's also not working with so many people at one time that you exhaust yourself. And there's strategy in that, which we heard in that room and which we'll share with you. But it's not building with so many people that you wear yourself out. But it's also busy people. We all start busy, right? So it's building into the pockets effectively and efficiently. And if they see you being able to do it, they're going to know that they can do it too, right? And so we'll work through these things with you. But does anyone have anything else you'd like to share before we close this out? Anybody else? Just give me a quick statement of what's holding you back, Lisa.
And that kind of ties into what I was going to say is I can't tell them I haven't made money yet. I'm still starting my team. So how can I go and say, hey, do this, we're all going to be rich, because I can't talk to that because I'm borrowing belief.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then when I tell people the legacy, people don't believe me. They think I'm making all that up. There is no way he made how many million. There's not these 30-year-olds who are making all these millions. And I can't say, well, look at my check because I haven't done it yet. So I feel like a bit of a fraud. And talking to Wanda's point, I've now got the responsibility of not just making money for myself, but now I've got to duplicate myself before I feel like I'm there.
So
but
good.
Yeah.
So good.
The
interesting thing is, Lisa, in the corporate world, if anybody came up to me on Wall Street and said, how much are you making? I would be like, that's none of your business, right? I mean, it would just be shocking to me if anyone would ask me that. But if I said to them, you know, this company I'm working for is really amazing. They just put in an incredible bonus system. We're breaking records in the corporate world. We are bringing on all of these amazing new clients. And I lean on the opportunity when I'm talking about it to someone. It's normal. They wouldn't expect me to say, all right, let me see how much you're making at, you know, XYZ bank. But
I'll show you my W-2 if you show me yours.
Yeah, like they just would never do that.
And I think it's having those sound bites of things that we can sew into the conversation with confidence that's how we do, you know, we've got our pattern down, because I haven't got one yet. So
that is so good.
Little sound bites would be great.
We will have sound bites for you guys on a list that you can pick the ones that you like the most and you can read to. And if you're bringing, and back to the three-way call, if someone's saying to you, well, you know, how are you doing? Say, you know what, this is what I'm going to say to you. I'm someone who does research and looks for opportunities. And I've been looking at this company and researching it for 5 years. What is it? 5 years. And I'm impressed with the science. I'm impressed with the company. I have partners that came from Wall Street to join this company. Let's ask them a few questions. Jump on and ask them a few questions. Let's take 5 minutes with them, right? That's not, let's get on a three-way call, right? Get the language out, make it comfortable. Look, you want to find out about it, ask my friends. They're really cool. They'll just get on, answer your question, get off.
Yeah, they're not going to try and pitch you. They're not going to try and sell you. They're just going to answer your questions.
Yeah, ask them why they jumped off of Wall Street to join this company, right? So that's the thing. It's only weird if you make it weird. It's only complicated if you make it complicated. We're not dragging people. The whole purpose of this business is not to drag people. The purpose is to be able to move them through a process, introduce them, get them to events, introduce them to simple systems that we can guide them through. But look, in the end, it's up to them. It's up to each of you to build your business. And if there are things that are holding you back, if we deal with it, think about how much stronger your armor is when you're talking to someone.
And you guys, I mean, those of us who've been doing this for a while, all the objections boil down to half a dozen.
Yeah,
they're all the same objections.
Yeah, it's money or it's time.
It's a pyramid. I don't have the money. I don't have the time.
Pretty much that's it. And so if you get comfortable answering
but
those
also, I just wanted to say, at least when you were in your gym, you know, I don't think anybody went and said how much money you make in a gym. And that was a legitimate business you were running.
Yeah, if I were in the gym with you, Lisa, I'd be asking.
You know what I mean? Like, it's.
I wouldn't care how much money you were making.
Yeah, so it's, you know, again, it's weird because
I think one.
Julie? Julie.
I don't know if you could hear me. I was also going to invite, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I was going to invite all of us that have objections to look at where are our objections really, what the objections we're getting, or where are they, you know, the old saying is we're projecting our own objections out. And to maybe reflect back on where is it that I don't feel, you know what I mean? To go back and reflect on yourself on maybe some, I mean, that's gonna, you're gonna grow. Remember when we used to have to ask for the social security number? And we would,
yeah, that like for me, that was the one I got asked. I had the biggest trouble with because it was, I came from finance. Like you don't ask people their social security number. It was the weirdest thing in the world. And I got that objection all the time because it was so weird to me that I had to ask people for their social security number. But then once I got over it, and I just said, it's how you get paid. Like then I never got asked the question again because I got over it in my own mind. Right. And so whatever it is, if it's holding you back, but listen, if you're getting it, as a constant objection, it's holding you back. It might be holding back other people on the team. So share it and we'll figure it out together and we'll work through it so you're comfortable with it. So I'm going to ask you guys, like, take this time and like really answer. Don't not answer. Okay. Because it's hard for us when you don't answer. Like, I'll tell you something. What Sharon said, our CEO stood up and said, 600 people have signed up for NYKO right now in our whole company at this time with all this going on. It's just it's distracting when it happens, and it's demoralizing when it happens. We all need to be there. That's our business meeting, and this is our business meeting, and we all need to be here. And you guys, you need to show up so that we can help, because together we can collaborate and we can find answers together. But you got to let us know. So take some time and really think about it, and let us know, because we're going to shape the answers around what you need. So because we want more than anything is to see each of you successful, to have the experience, to create the success of your stories, to share with other people, to have all of you at the next mastermind with us. It's an incredible journey. It's an unbelievable experience. So we're going to leave you here. It's 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, it was so great to see you all.
Reflect, think about it. Think about the things that are holding you back and let us know, so that we can help you, because we love you all so much. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're on fire. I don't know if you can tell.
great call. Thank you so much.
Love you all. Good night, everyone.
Thank
you guys.
Thank you.
Good night. Great
Night.
call. Thanks.
We'll read your
Thank
comments in the chat. We didn't get to them all. Sorry about that. Good night, everyone.